Okay guys, let's now discuss Magicites. Okay, so these stats in here: bash damage bonus, crash damage bonus, strike damage, and pierce damage bonus are all from Magicites. Alright, so if you check your skills, so Magicite, and you can see all the Magicites in here guys. So we have this crash Cubite, strike Cubite, pierce Cubite, whatever it is. Pierce Cubite, and so on and so forth. Okay, so for Magicites guys, you don't just add all of this to your slots. Okay, you don't just add it like this and then like this. Okay, so definitely it increases your BP or your BR, but it doesn't do anything. Okay, because if you check the description, adjacent Magicite crash damage plus 120%, meaning you should have a crash Magicite first when you use this crash reso rhombite. Okay, so what am I saying? If you remove this and then let's add it here, this crash Cubite, so socket, and then in here let's add adjacent Magicite crash damage plus 120%. If you click socket, you will see there's a line in here, right, going to the left, because it means that this crash reso rhombite is actually giving additional percentage or damage to crash Cubite. Okay, so that's why we have crash secondary damage plus 220. Okay, so if you remove this, it just becomes 100. If you add that again, where is it? This one. So ayan, 120%, so 220. So our matting is matting. Okay, so that's how you use these Magicites. You don't just insert everything in here. You just insert first this crash Cubite, pierce Cubite, and then you just add some enhancements on it. So like this, crash damage plus 120%. Okay, so now let's test this out. Okay, let's test the damage. So if we go to Hieros Trial, click this challenge. Let's see if we will be able to inflict more damage. Okay, so come here. So if we use my first skill, as you can see, there's an up arrow, right? One more. There's an up arrow. Okay, that's the second. It means that there's an additional secondary damage on it. Okay, so there's an up arrow, right? Let's try one more. Oops, 7.1k. Okay, one more. Oops, wait, I'm gonna die. Okay, and one more. Around 7.9k, right? One more. 7.9k, 7.8k. Now, if we remove it, let's just go outside. Let's remove our Magicites. Okay. So, Magicite. Remove this. Remove this. And then, let's try it out again. So, you can see the difference, guys, on the damage. Alright. Skill 7.5. As you can see, 7.5k, right? And there's no up arrow on it. Right? There's no up arrow, guys, as you can see. Okay, so there's just 7.1k. So yeah, you can't see much. It's all critical. 7.9k. Okay, so there's no up arrow, meaning there's no secondary damage on it. Okay, so that's the use of Magicites. It adds more damage to your skill, and then make sure that you use it correctly. Okay, don't just insert everything in here. Check for the crash Cubite or pierce Cubite or whatever, and then try to add more damage into it. So this is crash Cubite, right? If you add strike damage, for example, so there's no line in here, right? It increases our BP or BR, but it doesn't add anything on the crash Cubite. Okay, so it's just a waste. Okay, this one, because this is strike damage, but this is crash. So if I remove this and then let's get a crash, you will see the difference. Oops, loading a bit. Alright, 220, right? You can see 220 crash secondary damage. So that's how you use these Magicites. Okay, also there are instances, especially on world boss, wherein there's more damage. A specific Cubite can inflict more damage to a world boss, so better watch out for that as well. I would suggest create a lot of plans for your Magicites, and then you can have a Crash Cubite Magicites, and then Strike Cubite Magicites, so you can easily switch, especially on world boss, whatever is necessary. Okay, also sometimes for the Magicites there are like this, so attack skill crit multiplier 30 plus 13.5%. Okay, so you can also use that. So remove this and let's use this one. Okay, so attack skill crit multiplier plus 13.5%. Let's try it out. Let's see if we will have that arrow up again. And one more. Okay, there's no arrow up, it's just a multiplier for the skill. Okay, so the multiplier is just a multiplier for the critical. As you can see, my critical 15k now, right? I think a while ago it's just 13k something. Now it's 15k. Okay, so that's the benefit of that Magicite. It adds multiplier to your critical. Okay, there's no up arrow because it doesn't add secondary damage. Okay, so let's go out. Alright, so maybe you're wondering which one to choose, right? Is it, where is it? Is it Strike, Bash, Pierce? So Strike, Bash, or Pierce, it depends on your enemy. Like for example, in World Boss, I think there are some specific Cubites that you need to use for World Boss. You will see it on the left side in here. You will see that when you do World Boss. Okay, that's why as my suggestion, just try to create different plans. Okay, so you can easily switch depending on the enemy. And also take note that there are bash reduction, crash reduction, strike reduction, and pierce reduction as well. Okay, so basically it depends on the enemy, on what they are wearing. So you can also switch based on that, or maybe you just add all the Magicites in your in a plan or in a skill. Add all the Magicites just so if they have resistance or a lot of resistance to a specific Magicite, then the other one will take effect. So that's also a strategy. Alright, so yeah, it's up to you really, but the most important thing is you know how to use Magicites and how it will affect your damage. Alright, that's a quick one for Magicites. Good luck, guys!